You're listening to the Zine Collector Podcast, Episode 15, Selling Zines Online Part 4, Storenvy. Hello Zine friends, welcome back to the Zine Collector, or if you're new here, welcome. I am your host Jaime Nyx. The Zine Collector podcast is where I chat about zines and zine related things, and we are in the midst of a week-long podcast run where I am exploring the online marketplace options for selling zines online. And because we're in the middle of a week-long run, I don't have any new zine events happening around the world to share with you. And the only notes and announcements I have are, it's a rainy day. And so if you hear a little bit of a pitter-patter in the background, it's the rain on the roof. And if you're watching this on YouTube and the lighting is a little bit dark, it shouldn't be, but if it is, that is because it is cloudy. So yes, those are my notes and announcements, and we shall get right into the swing of things. In the last episode, I talked about the bulk selling qualities of listing things on eBay. In this episode, I'm going to chat about Storenvy. This is only from my view, of course, but Storenvy seems to be, amongst the people I know anyway, the most popular alternative to selling on Etsy. So let's dig in, shall we? Searching the word zine on Storenvy comes up with about 2,920 results. If you search the word zines instead of zine, this drops, but only slightly. I say about 2,920 results because it doesn't come up with an exact figure like other sites do. But I just took the listings per page, multiplied by the number of pages, and there you go. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing that's just a little bit confusing when it comes to Storenvy. Launching right into the fees, we'll start with the listing fees. In some places, Storenvy advertises that they have no listing fees, which is definitely great. But in other places, it advertises 500 product listings for free. Now, I'm not sure if it started out as 500 product listings for free and moved to no product listing fees, or if something else is going on there, but it's not clear. For the sake of this podcast and keeping things as clean and simple as possible when talking about various fee structures, I'm going to go with there are no listing fees. I'm making an assumption that people don't usually have over 500 products, which may be a big assumption on my part, but I'm going to go for it anyway. So, the fees. There are two options for selling on Storenvy. The first being sales that come through the marketplace, like organic searches, and sales that come directly through your shop. AKA, for example, if you had your zine shop, I'm not sure the structure of it. I'm not sure if it's storenvy.com/yourzineshop or yourzineshop.storenvy.com. Etsy, you can have it both ways, but I'm sitting here and I just realized I'm not sure the structure. So yes, you have sales that come through the marketplace and sales that come directly through your shop. If someone does a search in the marketplace and buys something from you via a listing in the marketplace, then Storenvy takes 10% of that sale, and the 10% is calculated on the total, the item plus the shipping. If someone goes directly to your shop and buys something from you there, then you keep the sale minus the transaction fee from the payment method, PayPal or Stripe. That transaction fee comes to 2.9% plus 30 cents USD. There are other optional extras for things like third-party plugins and a custom domain name. As far as the custom domain name goes, it costs an extra $5 USD per month. Do not do it. With this series, I am trying to present options and let you make your own decisions. I'm not trying to particularly steer you or tell you what to do, but with that particular fee, do not pay $5 a month for a domain name. That is way too expensive. I get deals on various domain names that can cost me $12 for 2 years. $5 a month is just way too much, especially in USD. Moving on. Usually, so far with this series, I would convert the 30 cents USD to Australian dollars for calculating the take-home amounts. Unfortunately, Storenvy is a United States dollars only kind of shop. The listings are in US dollars, the payments are in US dollars, so much and so on and so forth, Listings, payments, bills, transaction. So what I'm going to do is basically say, you know what, if I sold on Storenvy, I'd just switch over to I'd have to switch over to USD anyway. So for calculating the take-home amounts, I'm going to say that I would sell my $7 zine for $7 USD and that the shipping cost will be $3 USD. So on to using that example. My $7 zine, $3 to ship. If you sell your zine through the marketplace, out of the $10, you'll subtract $3 for the shipping and $1 for the marketplace fee. Easy peasy. And that leaves you with $6 USD. If you sell the zine through your shop, you subtract $3 for the shipping and 59 cents for the transaction fee. That leaves you with $6.41. This doesn't include the cost of creating the zine itself, materials, paper, ink, so on and so forth. When it comes to signing up for a shop on Storenvy, like the other options, it's very easy. There's a join button at the top of the page, and there's an open your own store link in the middle of the page, just slightly below the join button. The sign-up process, though, is a bit more annoying. Out of all of the options I explore this week, Storenvy wants the most information out of you. They want your street address, your business name, your business type, for example, an LLC, a sole proprietorship, so on and so forth, and your phone number. I was not happy about this at all for a number of reasons, which easily, slides me right into my notes about Storenvy. I'm a bit precious about my personal information, so I didn't appreciate being required to give quite so much of it over just to sign up. I imagine there are reasons for it, but they're already ruling out people who don't have a street address. And yeah, that does happen. There are people who live regionally who don't have street addresses and rely on post office boxes. And post office boxes aren't allowed as your address when signing up for Storenvy. Not only that, but it has an address detection tool. So you can't just put in, 123 Green Street in whereverville. It actually detects real addresses. This annoyed me to no end because Wanderer and I have actually since moving have come up against these time and time again and have had no end of trouble with them because we had to wait months. It was definitely months before where we live now changed from a lot number to a street number. And we actually only just got over a 6-month battle with our electricity company because of the whole lot number versus street number thing. It's so annoying. And no, it's not Storenvy's fault that it took months for us to go from a lot number to getting an actual street number. But it does color my opinion of all of the information you have to hand over. I didn't like it. I wouldn't have liked it before I moved. And yeah, the whole moving process does put me in a more biased position, but at the same time, I don't imagine I'm the only one who doesn't appreciate having to give over a street address. When it comes to Storenvy, I do appreciate the fairly simple fee system. It feels a bit like a well, it doesn't feel like a bit. It is a relief after the eBay table of fees that I had to wade through to figure out how much you take away based on the various options. The behind the scenes dashboard is easy to navigate as well, giving quite valuable analytics like visits and what items are your best sellers. Unfortunately, as I may have indicated by the fact that I didn't do all the conversions, the currency conversions, Storenvy is a very US-centric website, which is valuable, obviously, to people in the US, but not so valuable to international people who want to have a storefront option other than Etsy. There are so many elements, from everything money related to the third-party app integration, and the third-party app integration is very intriguing and adds a lot of possibilities to the marketplace, but again, they're so US-centric that any excitement I might feel at the fact that they exist is taken away by the fact that I can't use them as an Australian. It's really easy with Storenvy to feel a bit neglected if you're not located in the US. That being said, I do have a few US listeners, so definitely be sure to check it out if you are located in the US. All said and done, yeah, I definitely had a few annoyances when it comes to Storenvy, but I still think it has a lot going for it. Running a marketplace alongside individual shops that have a bit more customization than on places like Etsy is a big plus. It combines that option of design personality to make your store unique while also keeping the bonus of being able to be discovered through search engine, the search function in the marketplace, It's definitely worth checking out. Do you have a Storenvy shop? What has your experience been like? I'd really love to know. Especially, I want to know from US users as well, because I'd love to know, do you use the third-party apps? Is that something that appeals to you? I'd also love to hear the opinions from international users. Has the US-centric US currency been a problem for you, or is it largely something that's easy to deal with? I would really love to know. So be sure to start a discussion in the comments. I really like what Storenvy has going for it, but I'm really cautious about it at the same time. And so ends the third episode of our week-long series. Well, maybe not a week-long series, but it's a week-long run within this bigger series of podcasts. Be sure to check out the previous episodes on Etsy and eBay if you haven't already. I will be back tomorrow when I will be looking at selling zines on Ticktail. Thank you again for listening. Like I have been saying, I know this is a lot of information, but I hope it's been very useful for you. Remember that everything I say is just my opinion. There are no gatekeepers, in the Zineverse, nor should there be. Everything we've talked about all the links to everything I've talked about will be in the description, so be sure to check that out. And also be sure to stop by seegreenzines.com, where I review zines every Thursday and Friday and have calls for submissions on the weekend should you want to get involved with various zines. The music for this podcast, Spanish Summer by Audionautics, is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution license. And that is it for me today, zine friends. I will be back tomorrow, as I said before. So until then, I will wish you a beautiful, beautiful day. Wish you all the best. Go make some zines, have some fun, and until next time, mwah. No lie, I keep forgetting what episode number I'm on, what number we are in this week long. Like, my week is just a blur. It's really numbers and everything. I think I've fried my brain for numbers for a while. That is for sure.